All right, Paul, thank you. Mayim Bialik is taking a stand when it comes to the SAG-AFTRA strike, and Jennifer Aniston says she is over cancel culture.
Okay.
Variety chief correspondent Elizabeth Wagmeister is here to talk about that and more. Welcome back. Good to have you with us.
Always good to be with you. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so first, what did Jennifer Aniston say about cancel culture exactly?
So Jennifer Aniston did an interview with the Wall Street Journal, and in it she said, "I am so over cancel culture," and she essentially said that not everybody is a Harvey Weinstein. Now, of course, she is referring to Harvey Weinstein, the former Hollywood mogul, mega Oscar-winning producer who is now behind bars after being convicted on sexual assault. Jennifer Aniston is basically saying, how is there no room to make a mistake? How is there no room for grace? Not everybody is a bad apple like a Weinstein. Now, she actually did say that she had some unsavory moments with Weinstein, and she recalls one time being in her trailer and she remembers thinking, I better keep someone in here because she didn't feel comfortable. So she is not about cancel culture. She wants us to be able to have some grace, have some room for redemption. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. There's obviously a moving scale there.
Well, it's interesting, too, because she recently was kind of wrapped up in this whole conversation about a post that Jamie Foxx did on Instagram as well. She liked the post. People didn't really understand what he was trying to say. There was backlash to that. There was some undertones of anti-Semitism. He came out and said that wasn't what he intended to do. So, she's had some other moments, I think, as of recently, too. And it's interesting that you bring this up because the whole show that she's a part of on Apple TV is about how her co-anchor is canceled because of some of his behavior.
Yes, and that co-anchor, played by Steve Carell, a lot of people believe is modeled after Matt Lauer. Now, the creators have said it's not. He's really an amalgamation of all these men who fell from grace during the Me Too era. But, I broke that story on Matt Lauer, and when I watched that show, I said there are a lot of similarities. So I think it's an excellent point you bring up, that this is kind of life imitating art and vice versa for Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next, Mayim Bialik has stepped away from her hosting duties on Celebrity Jeopardy. What's up with that?
Yes, so Mayim Bialik, she has co-hosted Jeopardy with Ken Jennings. Well, now she is stepping away for the season that is premiering this upcoming fall. She wants to take a stand with the writers during the strike, of course, which is still ongoing. Seems like we may be getting towards a resolution, but as of now, at the time that she would have had to sign her contract, has not come to an end. We had sources confirm to us at Variety that this is the reason that she won't be hosting. So Ken Jennings will be hosting the upcoming season solo, which again comes this fall. Now remember, this is just Celebrity Jeopardy, not the whole shebang, not all of Jeopardy. So we'll see what happens, and I would anticipate that after the strike ends and after there is a resolution, that she'll be right back up there hosting.
I wonder why the distinction just with Celebrity Jeopardy.
I don't know. Well, maybe because the celebrities are part of the SAG strike.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot to sort out there.
That's true.
Okay, this next story is so wild to me. Can you explain why the security guard from the Eras Tour, who everyone was talking about in those videos, was fired?
Yes, so this is a wild story. So this security guard, his name is Calvin Decker. He was working at a stadium in Minneapolis during Taylor Swift's tour. And I want to make the distinction, he is not Taylor Swift's security guard. He was a security guard who was hired to work at the stadium. Well, he was fired, and he says that it's because he was asking fans to take photos of him in front of Taylor Swift. He admitted, after all, that the reason why he applied for this job was so that he could see the Taylor Swift show for free. We know that those tickets were very expensive. We all know that by now. But he said that he was doing his job. He said, I kept everyone safe. I was having a good time. What's the problem?
Yeah, I mean, it is curious, right? Like, what is the problem if he did his job?
Right. I guess it's the taking pictures thing that's a little bit questionable.
But isn't everybody taking pictures anyway?
Yeah, if you're on the job. But yeah, he was facing Taylor as she was performing. He's looking out at everyone. So Cut the guy a
Look,
break.
he's a multitasker. He was able to do it all. And I think that the Swifties are going to be on his side, and they are going to be upset that he was fired for being a fan, even while on the job.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I grew up in Minneapolis. That is definitely not Minnesota nice behavior to fire them. I'm just going to point that out.
Amy, you tell them.
Although, you know, if he only applied for the job so that he could be a part of the shows, now the show's over, so maybe he's all right. He's on to better things. He'll get a better offer somewhere else.
We'll see.
All right,
He got to see the show after all.
Exactly. It all kind of worked out. Elizabeth Wagmeister from Variety, thanks so much. And you can find more information about Elizabeth and Variety by going to kcalnews.com and clicking Seen on TV.